Hey, Travis kiddos. We're going to do the interactive read aloud. This story is called Great Inventions. The vocabulary words for this story are curious, imagine, improve, complicated, and device. We'll go over the vocabulary words as we read the story. Great inventions. What do you use in your daily life? What would your life be like without them? You use inventions all the time. An invention is something new. Inventors are curious people. Curious means that you are interested in something and want to learn more. Inventors are curious people. They figure out how to solve problems. An inventor can imagine a new thing that will help make other people's lives easier. Imagine. To imagine is to picture what something that isn't real might be like. You use your imagination to think of what it might be like. What would life be like without telephones? People used to communicate by sending letters. If the letter was going far away, that meant it could take weeks to get important news. People also sent coded messages called telegrams. Telegrams come quickly, but you had to learn a special code to send them. Over 100 years ago, Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone. It carried people's voices to faraway places. Soon, people would make calls from their homes and jobs. They could share news, make plans, order goods, and much, much more. But people needed to call from other places too. New inventors made cell phones that could call from anywhere. Today, cell phones can also send text messages and help you go online. How would you read at night if it weren't for electric light? The light bulb is another invention that changed the world. For many years, people used fire to make light. Burning wood, candles, and oil made a dim, smoky light. Lights that burned gas came next. Gas lights cost less and gave off more light. But they were dangerous. Breathing the gas made people sick. Gas lights sometimes caused fires, too. People needed a bright, safe light. Then an inventor made street lights that used electric sparks. These were safer, but they didn't last long. People needed an electric light that would last a long time. In 1879, Thomas Edison found a way to make a light bulb that was both safe and long-lasting. His invention let people see at night while they worked, played, and studied. Today, inventors still work to improve the light bulb. Improve means to make something better. The newest light bulbs give off less heat and use less energy. And like Edison's light bulb, they last a long time. Can you picture a world with no cars? The invention of cars changed the way people live. Long ago in America, most people traveled by foot, by horse, or by train. People who walked or rode horses could go anywhere, but travel was slow. Riding a train was faster, but people could only go where the trains went. In 1893, the first gasoline-powered car in America was invented. Now, people could drive anywhere there was a road. At first, cars were made slowly, one by one. The work was complicated. Complicated means it has many parts. The cars cost a lot of money. Then, in the early 1900s, Henry Ford changed the way cars were made. He invented the assembly line to make cars. A person who is part of an assembly line makes only one part of the car. Other workers make other parts of the car. The workers can do their work very quickly. Because Ford's assembly lines made cars quickly, his Model T cars were less expensive than other cars. Many people had enough money to purchase one of these cars. Now, people could live in one place and drive to work someplace else. Many people still do this. Cars have let us travel far. Do you use a computer in class or at home? Computers help us in many ways. They help us write and send messages. They help us find information quickly. They help doctors know what is wrong with sick people. Who helped create this very useful machine? Computers did not have just one inventor. They had many. The first computers in America were used in the 1940s and early 1950s. They were huge. They filled whole rooms at colleges and businesses. Inventors imagined that one day people would use computers in their homes. They looked for ways to make parts smaller and easier to use. They invented the microchip. This tiny device allowed computers to do more and take up less space. A device is something helpful that people make for a special use. People could own personal computers. The first personal computers were heavy. Most stood on a desk or a table in a person's home. Then, inventors figured out how to make computers smaller and lighter. Laptop computers are easy to carry around. People continue to invent new computers and programs that let us use computers in new ways. It is fun to imagine what computers of the future might do. So that story was Great Inventions, and the vocabulary words were curious, imagine, improve, complicated, and device. Can you define those words now? Can you use them in a sentence? I hope so. Happy learning.